What is up, YouTube? This is Carlos Talamantes here. I know it's been a while, and yeah, I'm back from YCS Sacramento. Sorry that I haven't uploaded really in the last month. Um, I got a new position at my job, and that has been demanding a lot more time and just getting used to that side of the business. And so I haven't been able to play so much. I played one time really in this whole last month's worth, not counting YCS Sacramento. However, yeah, I am very proud of myself and just the mindset that I went in with it. Unfortunately, I went 5-3. My losses only being straight up, I kid you not, to Shifter. And not only did I get shifted once, twice, I got shifted 7 times, guys. Like I lost to 3 Tempai players, and yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because there's nothing that you can truly do to interact with it other than draw the one called by the grave. So it's your one of hard drawn card to their 3 of hard drawn card, and you just gotta hope for the best, right? You can do the poly play, you can say babuska, but the thing is, it's like unless you're opening up the hero lives, you're not going to be able to make babuska. Um, it's just unfortunate, and personally, I hope Shifter gets banned, just because I lost 3 Tempai, my last loss being the final round of day 1, and that's what sealed it for me. Otherwise, I would have made day 2 and possibly topped, because I did beat 2 Snake Eye, I beat a Ubel, I beat a White Woods or White Forest, whatever you call them. I beat a branded player, and I beat, yeah, that's 5 right there. 2 Snake, 1 Ubel, 1 branded, 1 White Forest, and so 2 Snake. And that's what's frustrating a little bit, because I beat the really good decks for the most part, the Snake and Ubel decks. Um, Literally only lost to Shifter, but that's neither here nor there anymore. It's past, it's gone, it's over with. But I'm proud of myself because my theory was pretty much on point. Um, the deck performed very well. I didn't brick at all, minus like maybe 1 game, but I ended up pulling that out anyways. So very, very proud of this deck. I think it's very strong, and I'm excited for the format change because this deck is going to end up getting even better after the ban list. So yeah, here we go. Let's just hop into the list, and I'll be explaining a little bit stuff. And there's going to be a change in here that a lot of people are going to be pretty surprised about, and I'll get to that right now. So your heroes, your vision heroes, all the standard stuff. I don't want to waste your guys' time with this. You guys already know what it is. So Destiny Heroes and Plasma. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here. One of the things that you probably already noticed is that there is no Liquid Soldier in this deck. And here, sorry guys. Let me fix that a little bit. There is no Liquid Soldier in this list. The reason being is because Liquid Soldier is a very good card. However, it's actually pretty much a brick. And I know you're going to automatically think of, well, it can get Shadow Mist in the grave, from the grave. I know you can think of, if fusing with Liquid, with Neos and making Infernal Rage. It's a very good card. I love the card. I think it could find its way eventually back into this list. But let me ask you guys a question, and I want to give Blake Hero a shout out for this, because we're discussing this, and he's the one who convinced me to drop Liquid. And so in my further testing, I come to think about this: when you're using Liquid, does it ever start you the game? Does it ever truly extend you the game? And when you are drawing those cards, do those specific cards end up mattering to the play that you're trying to go for? Now, one of the biggest strengths that you have with Liquid Soldier is game 2 and 3 when you're drawing into your side deck. When you deck in all these cards and you end up drawing into your side, which is extremely good, extremely powerful. Like I said, I want to make it very clear that Liquid Soldier is not a bad card. I like it, and I wouldn't blame anybody for playing it. However, for this YCS, I wanted my deck to be super consistent, and I wanted to make it a point to where if I'm playing a 15 plus round tournament, I wanted my deck to be as consistent and get straight to the point of what it's trying to do every single time. And as I said earlier on, my deck did not brick at all. Now you also are probably noticing this Karibo. Now I'm going to be able to explain this Karibo a lot more. And you might think I'm tripping for playing this over the Karibo, but when I get to the extra deck or towards the end of the video, I'm going to definitely dive into this a lot more. So as I was saying, those cards that you draw into Liquid Soldier often truly don't matter, especially game 1. And oftentimes when you're like, the one thing that I feel like a lot of people need to realize is that, yes, we know that this is not a tier 1 deck. We know that, but to really understand that this is not a tier 1 deck is to know when you're building your deck that you are playing from behind. A lot of your cards are printed at a very old age. Malicious, Stratos, Plasma, just a bunch of stuff. We have a vanilla in our deck. Funny story about this later. Hopefully I remember. 2015, or 14 or 16, I forgot. But the point of the matter is we're playing from behind. And so sometimes even opening up that Liquid Soldier can slow you down enough to where you really needed an extender in that spot. Playing through the crazy, board that is Snake Eye, the crazy board that is Yubel. If somebody's trying to Calamity lock you, Gimmick Puppet lock you. I just wanted to fit more things in. And what Blake and I noticed, again, shout out to Blake Hero, Liquid Soldier was often the brick in the hand. Again, if you're using Liquid Soldier, that means that you're already playing the game. And so it becomes win more at that point. Now, those are a lot of my feelings as well. So I know Blake has his own explanations for that. And if, follow his channel if you haven't yet subscribed to him. Amazing content. Love his channel. And he'll be able to share more from his perspective as well. So my non-engine for this event was 3 Dark Ruler, 3 Droplet, and a Call By. Oh, actually, sorry, and a Talents. So with these 6 right here in particular, technically these 7, I did not want to lose to Appaloosa. That is one thing I just could not do. Appaloosa is a floodgate. Even if it makes 2 materials, even if it has 2 materials, that is still 2 negates that are very valuable, that you can't dodge with mass change, that it follows you and everything. And like you could chain onto it. However, I just did not want to lose to that, while also being able to stop other things, other threats as well. And this worked very, very well. Now you can also playing 6 of these and made it to where, if they did do the Beatrice line, dumping either, Black Goat Last, D-Barrier, Dimensional Grounds, or the Unchained Trap, using the Unchained Trap, it made it to where if I had 2 of them, I was able to crack that board a lot better. Call By, so many hand traps, hit Promethean Princess, Flamberge Dragon, and stuff like that. Talents was good too. It was solid. The reason why I did not play more than 1 was because I only had 1 QCR, and I didn't want to mismatch. I know. I just did not want to mismatch. However, I did pick up 2 more, so you might see this card go to 2 or 3 in the future. So I completed my set during the YCS. I'm very happy about that. One thing about me, guys, is that I'm a very it bugs me as things aren't matching. It may not be the nicest or whatever, but I love everything matching. These are QCRs. All these are QCRs. The rest of the deck, like pretty much the whole deck is going to be QCR or ulti. Whatever can be ulti is going to be ulti, and whatever can be QCR is going to be QCR. These are eventually probably going to be ulti as well. So going on for the actual hero engine. Mass changes, Miracle Fusion, Polymerization, Rhoda, and these cards. Okay, so going along with what I was talking about beforehand. I played through mass changes because there's so many targeting effects. I wanted to make sure that my stuff resolved while dodging their stuff. It's not just about stopping their card. Call by stops their card, but this stops their card while allowing me to resolve my effects. So it helps me, kind of get 0.5 in advantage, +1 in advantage, depending on what the card is. And those type of wins, those type of interactions are just very important when you're facing the Snake Eye matchup, when you're facing the Yubel matchup, when they're trying to bring back Solar Rage, just a whole bunch of different things. Oftentimes what they try to do, especially against like Yubel, if they're more experienced against the hero deck, maybe they might even try to take this before you try to get the poly with the Solar Rage. Then, you do something and you dodge it or whatever. I don't know. There's just a whole bunch of different interactions that you can do. One thing that I'm going to tell you guys, let me know what you notice here. How many targets does Rhoda have? Think about it for a second. How many targets does Rhoda have? Now, how many targets does E-Call have compared to Rhoda? As I'm looking through this, one of the biggest things that I'm thinking about is dropping the Rhoda and placing an additional E-Call. What this does is that it allows you to not use a body having to go into divisor. And that, when you're playing through hand traps, can be everything. That matters so much because then that's one more body that you can use just in case if they Nibiru you. That's one more body just in case if you, without having to use any effects either. That's one of the huge things. It saves you a body so you can make sure that you push with plasma. It just matters so much. You can search Wing Karibo off of it. There's just a lot of utility. And so one thing that you do end up losing is being able to search Denier. And honestly, if you're searching Vion with this, you're not building the best board that this deck can offer. I just care about seeing Stratos. That is my best. That to me is the best starter. This gives you the most value, but this is the most ideal starter because this is iconic. People know to interact with stuff like this, especially like if they don't know hero, they know Stratos, and so oftentimes like people get have the feeling of wanting to interact with this. Yes, you want to stop us from getting the poly and all that stuff, hitting using bestials to hit the malicious and stuff, but getting to the Stratos, it's so important. So all that to say, this might come out. This might cut them out because there's more targets with this. And you always just want to be able to keep your engine consistent and also have the versatility to get extenders or not have to use a body. And not having to use that body really does matter because then you're able to go into Wonder Driver a lot faster. And say if you did get deburied, you're saving that extra body so you can get into Dread Decimator a lot faster if you're playing that. So those are the cards. Oh, shout out to my bro Brandon. Thank you for hooking it up with this. Back on the ulti first Miracle. Now I need to pick me up 2 more. I miss my set, but very happy I got this one back. I got this one. So down to the extra deck. So 2 Dark Law. Actually, here, let me get the links out of the way. 2 Cross, Divisor, Driver. So these were my my links. You guys already know all of these. The reason why I liked Dread Decimator is because you can boost up Dystopia, but it's really here because making this with Wing Karibo in Plasma is really good because one, you have a booster for it's like that setup right there is like having DPE along with your Plasma. So you're getting your boost from the Plasma, which DP would have decreased it. So it gets rid of the attack gap for the most part. And Karibo offers that protection, so that pseudo protection that DPE would have offered. So 2 Dark Law. Let me get these out. Divine Wind. I had no regrets playing this card. I am so happy that I played this Overblast. It was just so much better. I went into this thing like guaranteed at least twice, but I'm pretty sure I went into it 3 times. What I'm really trying to get at is like I got Shifter 7 times against 3 Tenpai players. The one game that I was able to push is because I was able to survive with this card. Now, it's not just against Tenpai. If you get stuck, like for example, I know Blast, they can bounce a card, but I never want to give them their cards back. I want to blow them up. And then 2, and yeah, you could bounce back a card like Skill Drain, and then chain like Book of Moon to your Blast, and then it will resolve face down, and then you bounce the drain. It has interactions like that, which is all really good. Like I said, I'm not blaming anybody for playing these cards, but what I really liked about this card is that it gave me a card. And then 2, against Tenpai in defense, yes, they can bounce it with Moonlight, but they're going out of their way for the most part, and this helped me survive. I really like this card. Over Blast. This card still may come out, especially with all the new support. But this saved me, and I actually used it against a few other players, a few other decks, which was really cool. I like the fact that it just gives you cards instead of just neutralizes. I'd rather do more of my stuff than worry about my opponent's stuff. Especially it's bigger too. Like that's the cool thing about it too. It's like I know Blast halves or whatever, and then you can get over it. But I don't have to do anything. I could be under drain and still be bigger. So 2 Wake Up, you one for the extension, 1 for the kill. They can kill. They can. If you're drawing broken, they can draw just as broken. They can wipe your board or whatever, and then once they do, you have 4 fusion, 5 fusions in the grave. You just flip your miracle that you reset off of the Wonder Driver when DP comes back, and then you kill them with that. You're not activating any effects. It's all continuous and stuff. So yeah, Swingman, this package. This is also the put next to Plasma for the decks that just don't get hit by Dark Law as much. I like to set up these 2 with Plasma and then the Karibo, and this just to be able to surround my Plasma with a whole bunch of different disruptions, and it makes it better against decks like Ritual Beast and stuff like that. Then it's also like your time card, so it's a cool thing. I like it. However, when all the new support comes out, you might have to cut this down to 1, and then cut this, and then cut this, and yeah, maybe cut this. Oh, and by the way, if you guys want like my takes on the Evil Hero stuff, I can do that. But letting you guys know right now, it's gonna change everything. I love this new support. It is insane. I know a lot of people are 50-50 on it all, but I'm telling you guys, this support is insane. There are so many lines that people just don't see. I'm very excited for this support. There's so much that it can do. There's so many cards that we already have that we weren't able to play effectively that we're able to play now. And I'm telling you guys, things are cooking. So my side deck for this event was 3 Mochami, 3 Thrust, 2 Lightning Storms, Duster, Mass Change second, 3 Solemn Judgment, and then Deep Barrier and Protection of Elements. Every card went in throughout this whole tournament. I did not use a single card. So the only card that I didn't see all weekend was Molt Charming. I did not see that card at all. So the thrust was good. I wanted this against Snake Eye and Yubel too, because if they're trying to negate this, that means that they use their negate. Then I can hit them with the Dark Ruler, and if they don't have the Desiree and stuff, um, then what's it called? This is just going to hit IP and it's going to hit the Temple and a few other cards, or I could hit the Apple, obviously. I did decide to play Mastering second because I wanted another card that dodged their stuff. Because if I'm setting up my board against Snake Eye, Yubel, they're not beating me. If I can resolve my stuff, they're not going to win. And once I do resolve my stuff, I wanted a card like Solemn Judgment to stop, things like Dark Ruler no more, droplets. I know if you have Dark Law, they can't droplet you, but unless they send my stuff, But I wanted a card like this to stop like evenly match, which it did, So this is really cool. I 2-0'd you, Bill, and it was really, really cool because I had this and he tried to evenly match me, and I flipped it, and I was like, sorry. You just wasted a main phase 1, the battle phase, and now you're in main phase 2 trying to crack my Dark Law, Plasma, DPE, favorite contact, and all that stuff. Master second, like I said, went in because I wanted to resolve my stuff. Thrust always stood in game 2 and 3. Protection of Elements. Going to Protection of Elements. I really like this card. It's not hard to leave up a E-Hero. You have Sunrise that you can leave up. The card comes back to you. And because of the Tenpai player who won that Euro Nationals or something, it was something like that. He started the trend of playing like Regekis and Dark Holes and all that stuff, and like just all the board breakers you can think of. And I really wanted another Solemn Judgment type of card against those things because I didn't want to lose to that. And so I was prepped for all this, for all their board breakers. But what I couldn't prep for was freaking Shifter. So it is what it is. I was able to stop everything else. Stopped evenly. I stopped Lightning Storm, and just a bunch of other stuff. And yes, you can say Dark Angel does that too. However, depending on here's my thing with Dark Angel right now. Yeah, I think it's solid, but it's just too risky for me. Unless you have rivalry, unless you have goes in and stuff like that. And those are all a bunch of ifs while playing through their hand traps. And that's what made it difficult for me. Like I said earlier in the video, I wanted to just focus on getting to the point of what I was trying to do. As long as I was able to try to get to the main point of what I was trying to do, I was going to be able to win. And that's what it showed. I was able to beat everything else. And the funny thing about it, that last Empire player I lost to, very cool dude. If you end up listening to this video somehow, it was great meeting you, bro. I'm sorry I forgot your name. But we ended up playing again after, and I ended up winning 2-0 after that, and there was no shifter involved. So I knew this deck was solid. I knew my theory was solid on it, and I was very proud of just this deck in general. Yeah, but Protection of Elements was pretty cool. There's so many different board breakers, and I just wanted to stop everything. I wanted 4 cards that they just could not get past. They couldn't chain to. So that was that. Like I said, I also didn't see Molcharmi at all. would have been nice. It would have made things a lot easier. I said it in every time, but I just cannot draw this card for the life of me. So I have no real take on that. And I ended up winning those other matchups, so I guess I didn't need it as much, but it'll stand. Yeah, it'll stand. But going back real quick before I forget, the whole Infernal Rage Winkribo thing. So this is what I wanted to kind of go over, and I wanted to just show some of the value of this Winkribo. This Winkribo put in so much work all weekend. Like this little furball right here, it's become one of my best friends here. Nah, I mean, I love it because the thing is, it's like when you open up one of these, it does not feel good at all. It really just does not. And so, I want to always have an additional plus. Like I said before, you're constantly playing from behind because you're a rogue deck. Unless you're going first and they have no interactions, your floodgates always win, right? But drawing one of these, lightweight sets you back a moment, a little bit. So just being able to, if you open up this, being able to search this off of this just matters a whole lot. And then what the benefit of this also is that when you search this, from the unsummon effect, they don't know now that you have this unless they're familiar with the deck, which means that not only do they have to play with against what they know, they don't know about this. So this makes it way more deadly. Then on top of that, when you tribute, this, just having that body already to come out, when you open this up, just helps so much because you don't need to go into sunrise. I want additional pluses, and just being able, like, I can't tell you how many times that this helped me push through hand traps, and I was able to just sack for plasma. um, then also the funny thing is, the branded player that I played against, we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? And I had plasma up. I had, I think, let me see, I had this out, and then I had, let's see, I had this out. And what happened was, oh, and this. So what happened was he deburied me, and then he ended up getting over popping this or getting rid of this. He's like, cool, we're he has like 2,500 life left, and he makes a jade. He makes a mirror jade. He had already used his effect. He's thinking that he's going to be able to attack over this, and so he tries. I used Win Karibo's effect, pop him for game. I won the match. And so it's like the little things right there. Like I always said before, like if you heard my other videos, this doesn't solve every problem. It's not what we truly need, but it helps so much. Just being able to have that other card to search off, to stand off of Fusion Destiny, to be able to make these cards not feel so bad when you open them, helps so much. And then also being able to, tribute this, special this, sack for plasma, banish this if you don't need to go on to wake up, come back, and you automatically have protection and everything without having to do much at all. Like, you have two amazing boss monsters in Plasma and Darklaw. And just being able to have more protection, more layers of interruption, makes it to where your DPE, just can be, used whenever you truly need it instead of on the first interaction. So the things like that matters just so much. But yeah, guys, that's all I have for you right now. If you guys, I have so many more ideas. I'm excited that the format's changing. I'm excited for this Neos deck that I'm going to be showing. I have two different variants of it. I'm happy to be back playing. Work's getting a little bit better, in terms of time management. And so I'm able to do a lot more now. So I'm very, very, very excited to get back to the grind of, maybe in about a week or so. Just came back from YCS Sacramento, so I want to make sure I spend some time with the family. But all right, guys, that's all for today. If you want my take on the new Evil Hero support, drop a comment down below, and just remember, sometimes you might be the only hero that somebody will ever see. So be kind to people.